It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. A happy Friday to all of you. I am Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning, Star. Good morning, Bahamas. TGIF. I'm Philip Simon.
And of course, we're so happy to be with you again this Friday. Saw you on Monday. And of course, it's good to be back in these times and in this season, whenever we get to do it again. It is truly a joy. Phil, how was the week for you?
You know, we count our blessings one by one. It was a good week. It was a productive week, actually, and it's now over, but that means nothing, right? We get to do it all over again, even if it's on a weekend, man. So, you know, good week, Star, good week. And the Dolphins won last night. I think they won last night. I think so.
Way to go.
I only come out as a fan when they win.
Yeah, well, you do that with everybody. So, but I celebrate the Dolphins. I acknowledge, I want you guys to live it up. These moments come so few and far between for you all. That this is great news. And I wish you all just a wonderful, wonderful day of celebration.
One day, right?
I just hope the Dolphin fans love Jesus like they love the Dolphins, because it makes no sense. And yet they stick with them. But I like it. I like it. I just want that to translate into other areas of discipline in people's lives, but that's great news today, Phil. Great news to start the show.
I accept all of that. I accept. What about you, Star? How was your week?
It has been a busy week, Phil. I was telling a girlfriend of mine that these last few weeks going into these next 2 weeks have just been incredibly busy. I do a lot of keynote speaking around the world, and it's just been incredible. And so next week I'm preparing for my Best Fest weekend with Charissa Monroe. We're doing a weekend for speakers and leaders, talk about how they can increase their impact, their influence, and their income. And so looking forward to that. Just a lot of work going into it. It's absolutely free. And so if people want to sign up, they can just go to homeofstars.com/summit and they can just join Charissa and I. It's going to be phenomenal, but it takes a lot of work to pull these things off. So that's been keeping me busy. Of course, the kids, weather changes, so colds come. And so you're managing that. And so, yeah, Phil, just a busy week being a wife, a mom, and trying to do my thing,
I'll tell you what, and then Christmas coming, right? Christmas coming.
And well, as I showed you, on my big giant cake, Christmas is here.
There we go.
Well, we've got a really great show lined up for you today, so I don't want to hold it up at all. So many wonderful people coming on to share some great things. So call a friend, text a friend, tell them Bahamas at Sunrise is on. Of course, this month is Diabetes Awareness Month, and Dr. Ariane Davis-Simmons is going to join us to talk about that. And then, Phil, the new Canadian High Commissioner is here. She's also going to be talking about her priorities. So I'm looking forward to both of those conversations.
Yeah, and it's Deaf Awareness Month, and we'll hear from the Red Cross Center for the Deaf. Bahamian Major League Baseball player Shawn Knowles is also here to talk about his career. Always great when we have athletes on the stage. And we've got also, in addition to him, some terrific young athletes who are excelling in their fields on the international stage. So lots happening today, Star.
Indeed it is. And so we want to get started now by finding out what the weather is going to look like this weekend. Had a lot of rain yesterday. It's my understanding it's supposed to rain some more today. So will this bring some cold at the end of it? Will the oceans calm down? What's going to happen? Only Godfrey Burnside knows. So Phil, we're going to turn things over to him now for him to tell us. Here's Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Shawn. Good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at the weather at sunrise, streaming moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, along with prefrontal activity, will trigger periods of unsettled weather across the islands, particularly the northwest and central Bahamas today. We have a cold front that should move across Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini early and Saturday morning, continue southeastwards across New Providence and St. Lucia by the afternoon. A second cold front will move through on Sunday morning. That'll bring some cooler temperatures across the islands on Monday and Tuesday. Today, mostly cloudy and warm, with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms over northwest and north central Bahamas, partly sunny and warm over the southeastern islands, high temperature 85. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild with a few showers, even a possible thunderstorm over the northwest and central Bahamas, the low going down to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 88 and 78. In Jamaica, 88 and 74. In Trinidad, 89 and 77. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 87 and 72. Across North America, Atlanta, 64 and 47. In Raleigh, 71 and 49. In Miami, 80 and 73. Dallas, Texas, 66 and 47. And Toronto, Canada, 55 and 46. As you go to the weekend, two cold fronts, one passing on Saturday morning across Grand Bahama by afternoon over the New Providence area. Second front passes over the islands quickly on Sunday morning, reinforcing some colder temperatures. And so temperatures daytime into Saturday will be in the mid-80s at daytime and the lower 70s nighttime after front passes, lower 80s daytime, mid to upper 60s at nighttime. That puts you up on your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Dr. Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you so much for that weather update, Godfrey. November is Deaf Awareness Month, and it's a time to help raise awareness about the language, culture, and diversity of the deaf community. Joining us now from the Red Cross Center for the Deaf are Michaela Smith, who's the senior mistress, Janice Mackey, who's the House Management Committee member, and Principal Sonja Rolle. You're going to see her signing. And so Principal Rolle won't be joining us to talk the way that we're used to speaking, but she will be speaking to the members of the deaf community who are certainly paying attention. And so we're grateful that she's here this morning. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're so incredibly pleased to have you to bring awareness to what is happening this month with our deaf community. Just bring awareness to them in general, that they're being celebrated and highlighted is very important for us today. And so I want to get started with you, Ms. Mackey. Can you give us a background on the school? 57 years is a long time. Talk to us about that.
Yes, it is. The actual Red Cross Center for the Deaf had its birth in the Bahamas Red Cross sometime after the World War II. As the Red Cross was continuing its work in the community, they recognized that there were challenges with hearing persons, with non-hearing persons, sorry. And so that was the birth of the Red Cross School for the Deaf in 1946. The first school was actually built there on Pitt Road. And personally, I grew up knowing that that was the Red Cross School for the Deaf. That school did its work there for about 30 plus years. And then it was demolished by the government in 2009 for the new T.G. Glover Primary School. At that time, the Red Cross School for the Deaf moved to Gregory Street, where it is located now. And it's been there for a number of years. And as you would have heard, the minister said in her statement the other day that the Red Cross School for the Deaf would not be one of those schools that will be ready for face-to-face learning in January 2022. And so the school is now relocated on the premises of Grace Gospel Chapel in Palmetto Village. So that is where the faculty is now working from, doing the virtual learning for the school at this time.
Okay. Yes, I can imagine that must be a new and interesting dynamic for your students. Of course, they've been meeting challenges all along. And so I'm sure they would have adjusted, but it would have taken some time. Ms. Smith, how many students do you currently have? And what programs do you offer at the school?
Okay, currently we have about 24 students enrolled in our school, and we offer the basics of the same as the Ministry of Education, with a special emphasis on vocational skills, because a lot of our students are in that vocational track. And so we have cooking, barbering, handicraft with sewing, and so things like that. So if the child is academically inclined, we would give them an academic track where they would complete their BJCs, BGCSEs. But if that's not their calling, then and they are more interested in a vocational thing, say cooking, sewing, hair braiding, then we would take them that avenue so they can turn around when they've graduated and become entrepreneurs and not always depend on having someone hire them, because that we've learned from experience that is, very minimal. And so we have a lot of the deaf who are still seeking jobs. And, because of, I guess, non-information, a lot of employers are afraid to hire the deaf because of the communication. Really, that's the only thing. Many of our deaf have the skills that it takes, but it's just that communication barrier that a lot of people are afraid of. And so they would, tend to shy away from hiring them. But many of them have very good skills. As a matter of fact, we have a deaf former student who works in the House of Parliament, believe it or not. And so they want the same things in life that we do. And so we try to tailor and cater their educational needs to that so that they can either be employed or become an entrepreneur.
Yes, excellent. And, you brought up a great point about the fact that we need more opportunities, I think, set aside for persons who are differently abled, right? Many people just don't understand, and because they don't seem to get as many opportunities. But Ms. Mackey, you do have some successful alumni, and I'm grateful that Ms. Smith mentioned the person who now works at the House of Assembly. But can you tell us about how some of the alumni have been doing since they've left the school?
Well, the majority of them, like Ms. Smith said, do not have jobs. Mm-hmm. They contact the school on a regular basis, just so that we know what they're doing. The alumni is a very close-knit group, and I guess for reasons we can all understand, they're very active. Mm-hmm. There are a number of them that have positions in society, like Ms. Smith said, and they're really making their own way. But there are quite a number that are unemployed, and for the same reason, the fear of not being able, of others having the fear of them not being able to understand them. And so I can say that the school has taken a decision that at some point we want to be able to have an edifice that we can have some extra classes or even spaces where we can have them as entrepreneurs and they can work in that particular space. So we are working with our alumni. Like I said, they're a very close-knit group, and they want our support, and we want to support them as much as we can.
Yeah, excellent. All right, Ms. Smith, you mentioned, and both you and Ms. Mackey talked about this struggle that people often don't want to hire because they're afraid of that communication barrier. What are some other misconceptions about deaf and hard of hearing people and their capabilities?
That they can't do it in general, that they just cannot do it. They see that communication thing as, oh, they are so, unable that they cannot hold a broom or type a letter or, things like that. The only thing they maybe have challenge with is if you put them as a secretary to answer the phone. Outside of that, they can do it. They can do it. And so it's just a matter of getting to know the person. You train them like you would train any employee for the position, and they can do it. So it's just they just see the deaf persons as, oh, they can't do it, but it's just they can't hear. That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Still fully capable.
And they want the same things. They want to be married. They want to have a family. They want to have a job, car, the same things that all of us have, and some of them do. Yes. One of our craft instructors, her name is Mrs. Janice. She has a family, and she sews, immaculately. And she's done sewing for bridal parties of up to almost 20 people.
Oh,
she's sewing for, including the bride's dress. and she sews immaculately, and she's made a living by sewing. And you would not, her hearing did not stop her with that. And when I said, when you can sew the dresses of a bridal party close to 20 people, you got some skills.
So listen, I'm going to have to find out what a contact is after this, and we have that conversation
Yes.
offline. But Ms. Mackey, before we
Yes.
go, is the school board making plans to find you a permanent home?
Yes, as we speak, the board is actively engaged in securing premises and securing new premises. The legal work for that is being done. And in those new premises, we hope to have these expanded programs to be able to assist the students and the alumni as we move forward. We are hoping, we know closing works takes a lot of time with the new school, and then we have to do some renovations. So hopefully 2022, the Center for the School for the Deaf would have a new edifice that they can call home.
Excellent. Now, Ms. Mackey, what's your number there, just in case somebody is watching, wants to make a donation or wants to help in some way?
I don't remember that. Can Ms. Smith cue in on that?
Sure. The school's telephone number is 323-6767. But right now we're not at that location. Mm-hmm. So if you can send us an email at center, CENTRE, for FOR, DEF, DEF, @gmail.com. We will answer you that, because there's, like Mrs. Mackey said, we're not at the Gregory Street location right now. We are using the Grace Community Church as for schooling facilities, but you can contact us through our email, center, CENTRE, for FOR, DEF, DEAF, @gmail.com.
Excellent. Ladies, thank you both so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise, reminding us of the work that you do, the community you serve, and the fact that these people just want to be a part of our community as well. I'm hopeful that this interview will start to open up some minds and spaces for them to do the work and live the lives that they so desire. Again, we thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yes, thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
First, it's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back to the show. As you already heard, November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and Sunday is World Diabetes Day. Here to discuss this with us, continuing on with the conversation we had with Dr. Ranga from Monday's show, is Dr. Ariane Davis-Simmons, Internal Medicine Endocrinology at Doctors Hospital Health System. Welcome back to the show, Doc. So good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, well, you know, this is one of those subjects that we can never stop talking about, right? When we start talking about diabetes and type 2 diabetes and why it's so prevalent here in our country and possibly around the world. But let's take a step back and let's just reintroduce the subject once again. In a nutshell, what is diabetes and why is type 2 in particular so prevalent?
Yeah, so type 2 diabetes is the most common form of diabetes. So 90% of individuals with diabetes will have this form. In type 2 diabetes, the body is resistant to the action of insulin. So these people make insulin, it's just not working as effectively. So it can't carry the sugar into the cells to be utilized as energy. And insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas. So it is like the key that opens the door to let sugar into the cells to be used as fuel. And the problems happen with diabetes is when the excess sugar in the blood is just sitting there, and over time, it leads to all of the complications of diabetes, like diabetic kidney disease, end-stage renal disease, diabetic eye disease, which is the leading cause of blindness in the world, nerve damage, which leads to decreased sensation, and risk for trauma to the feet, ulcers, amputations, the increased risk of heart attack and stroke. And the reason why it's such a big problem in the Bahamas is, strong family history component, physical inactivity, ethnicity. Unfortunately, it's more common in non-whites. And then the biggest issue in our country is the obesity epidemic, which goes hand in hand with type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so it is genetic to a certain extent, but are there other things you talk about? It's kind of sitting there in the blood and that's moving as much. And obviously, if you're obese, you're prone to this type of thing. But who is there a category? Who's really at risk here?
Yeah, so some of the people I mentioned, so being overweight, obese, being over the age of 45, even though we're seeing it in younger individuals because they're so overweight or obese, those who have hypertension or hyperlipidemia, increased waist circumference, which is called metabolic syndrome, that puts you at risk. Family history itself, meaning if you have one parent with type 2 diabetes, you're at 25% increased risk of having diabetes. And again, like we talked about, the obesity and overweight is the major contributor factor.
Okay, all right. So when we start talking about treatment plans for type 2 diabetes, especially, what are some of those, and what would be the outcomes if desired?
Great. So lifestyle, eating healthy, portion exercise, at least 150 minutes per week.
Seem to be having just a little bit of technical challenges listening and hearing you, Dr. Davis-Simmons. Or maybe that's me. Okay, now you're on mute. Okay, you're back on mute.
Sorry, I think we got disconnected. So in terms of just making lifestyle changes and losing a percentage of your body, we can improve blood sugar. Lifestyle is the cornerstone. I believe my colleague, Dr. Janice Martin is going to talk about that a little bit more next week. But the second step in managing diabetes is going to be following up with your diabetes care team, making sure you're taking your medications, follow your blood sugars by checking, making sure you're in range, having your routine follow-ups, having A1C checks, which gives you your overall look at your control of your diabetes, and then following up with your eye doctor and your podiatrist to make sure you're at target. And the one thing I always want to highlight is that with control and doing these steps, you can prevent all of the complications of diabetes.
Yeah. And that was going to be one of my next questions outside of it being, a genetic trait. How can one prevent, even getting there? And then, you hear the term all the time, pre-diabetic. What does that mean, and how is that tackled?
Yeah, so pre-diabetes is basically in the name. It is the stage before you develop diabetes. So that means you have abnormal sugars, but it just hasn't met the target sugars that switch over to be called diabetes. And this is a critical stage, so that you can actually reverse everything happening by just making lifestyle changes. And this, the diabetes prevention program, which is a very popular study, showed that just by losing weight, getting exercise of 150 minutes per week, which is about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and only losing 7.5%, that you have resolution of the diabetes. And even when they compared these individuals who did this in comparison to those who just was put on medication, the lifestyle change group had a bigger impact.
Okay, don't worry about that. We have children on the show all the time here on Bahamas at Sunrise. So, you know,
there are three, so they all come in.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. You know, Dr. Ranga had mentioned, obviously, you know, there's surgery as an option, but it's probably the last thing that anybody really wants to do. But so when would you kind of recommend bariatric surgery for an obese person with diabetes?
Yeah, so if you have a BMI over 35 and you have diabetes for surgery, and like I said, there's a lot of trials. The Stampede trial in particular shows that those who've had surgery can even have remission of diabetes. So it can disappear. And also have the surgery and are on intensive therapy, the diabetes can get better. So again, if control diabetes at BMI over 35, you meet criteria for surgery. And it will improve your overall metabolic panel, your hypertension, your hyperlipidemia, and your diabetes.
All right. So bottom line is, you, as best possible, you want to get in front of this. You want to, you know, have, you know, lifestyle changes. You want to exercise, all of the different, you know, all of the usual things, correct?
Correct. Lifestyle being the cornerstone, and then medication added onto it. And then following up with your diabetes care team. I think in the Bahamas, you know, we don't take preventative therapy very seriously. We wait until it's too late, or not too late, but wait till it's more end stage and more progressive to seek help. So teen follow-ups, putting nutrition and lifestyle to the forefront is very important.
Yeah. All right. Great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Dr. Ariane Davis-Simmons, internal medicine, endocrinology at Doctors Hospital Health System, and her beautiful daughter. Watching Bahamas at Sunrise.
This is Ava. Thank you, Bahamas. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
One thing, two things. Blue thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
The sports we play depend on the health we build. So let's stay healthy. Wear a mask and practice social distancing and hand washing to protect yourself and others. Remember, COVID-19 is not a game.
A public service message from the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. While young athletes excelling in sports is the focus of the segment, and we are incredibly pleased to be joined by Stephen Russell Jr. He's a 2019 Special Olympics World Games athlete, Anthony Burrows, who's a junior tennis athlete, and Carlos Brown, who's a junior sprinter. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you all with us. And Mr. Burrows, you can leave the line open. This is the difference between Bahamas at Sunrise and virtual school, right? You and Mr. Brown get to keep the mics on as we talk to you this morning. Mr. Russell, I want to get started with you. You competed at the Special Olympics and the World Games. You have both a gold and bronze medal in something called boxing. What is that level of competition like? And can you explain what the game is to me?
Yes. And thank you for having me. Well, bocce is a sport that is similar to bowling ball. You know bowling?
Yeah.
Except the difference is you have to roll the big ball closer to the small ball, which is called the palina.
Okay.
And the main goal is to get that big ball closer to the small ball as close as you can.
Okay. Okay.
The closer you get to the small ball wins.
Okay. So you got a gold and a bronze. How does that feel?
It feels awesome. I have to say I feel so awesome representing my country, and it made me feel so excited to compete in a country such as Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Did you meet a lot of people?
Absolutely. I meet a lot of people and made so much friends over there.
That's so cool. Yeah, I love Abu Dhabi. It is beautiful, and they've just designed and created this magnificent world. And so I'm sure you had a great time. Mr. Burrows, I want to talk to you now. You are the World Junior Teams Tennis Competition Junior Davis Cup winner. Woo! What do you love about playing competitive tennis?
Well, just the excitement. You can see new things, meet new people, new experiences, go to different places. That's a experience.
Yeah. Do you think that you would want to play tennis like professionally or at the college level once you're done dominating where you are now?
My ultimate dream is to play professionally. Hopefully make it to #1 overall in men's tennis.
Okay. And how much time and practice is required in order for you to be as good as you are now?
Well, it's a lot of time and effort. Most people practice maybe 3 hours in a day, 4 hours in a day, plus fitness for an hour, hour and a half. So it's a lot of time and effort, but people do it, and it really helps.
Okay. All right, Mr. Burrows. And I love that your Christmas stocking's up, Mr. Burrows. So tell your mom I said she's a woman after my own heart. And not only is she raising the tennis champion, she's raising the Christmas champion. That's very important. All right, Mr. Brown, Carlos Brown. My husband's name is Carlos. So you're ready in good standing with me because I love that name. But at 15, you were the youngest member of Team Bahamas at the World Athletics Under-20 in Nairobi. How was that competition for you?
It was a great experience, rather than among some of the greatest junior athletes in the world. It was a great experience.
Okay, all right. Now, 15. That means you got a lot of time left. What do you hope for? What are you planning for the future in this sport?
My dream is to become one of the youngest sprinter in the Bahamas to go pro, and then win an Olympic gold medal.
Okay. And what race do you run?
I ran the 100 meters and the 200 meters.
Okay. Okay. So do you think, and I just want to say, right, my old co-host roommate, he used to say only good things happen when you come to Bahamas at sunrise. So I want to just speak it and declare it, right? Mm-hmm. I got to see Usain Bolt run at the Rio Olympics several years ago. Of course, at that time, he was the fastest man in the world. Do you think, Mr. Carlos Brown, that you have what it takes to be the fastest man in the world?
Yes, Mom. I do have what it takes to be the fastest man in the world.
All right. Well, the world heard it here first on Bahamas at Sunrise. The Carlos Brown is coming. He's going to be the fastest man in the world. And that, of course, is his goal. What do you love about running, Mr. Brown?
There's a lot about running. What I love about it is that you get to travel the world, experience a lot of new things, meet a lot of new people, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound pretty exciting. But all of you guys are student athletes, right? That means the student comes first. And so you all are still in school. You still have to manage being in school as you pursue your dreams in these sports. And so, Mr. Russell, for you, how do you balance academics and competing in boxing?
Well, I balanced it very well. I just graduated this year. and I am going to BTVI next year.
Okay.
And in my experience, balancing between school and practice, it wasn't very hard. Was just stay focused, put in the time, and you'll be straight.
I hear that. Stay focused, put in the time, you'll be straight. All right, Mr. Burrows, any words you want to give to any other student athletes out there? Because you're talking about going pro, spending 3 hours a day doing the sport, an hour just doing physical fitness. I believe, that you are the next great thing. I follow female tennis, so you have to forgive me for saying that you're going to be greater than Osaka and Williams. But talk to me now. What do you want to say to other student athletes out there that they need to do in order to be great like you?
Well, first, it's not easy. It's really a gradual day-to-day thing. The key is really time management. Once you manage your time really well, it'll be much easier for you. Scheduling your day, making sure every time slot you have selected for something, whether that be your sport, school, or just rest time, because rest time is also important. You can't burn out yourself before you even become pro. So just scheduling your day and managing your day.
Oh, y'all gentlemen are so smart, right? Y'all make me want to believe that y'all grown working men the way that you all are answering these questions. Mr. Brown, I'm going to give the last question to you this morning. What advice would you give to anybody that wants to be like you, right? I see lots of young kids that just love to run. They're running everywhere. They run in the food store, they run in school, but they're not in a professional program yet. They might be too young, or they just might not have the access to it. What advice would you give them to pursue their dreams of running and maybe being a young athlete like you, under 15, and traveling to the international space to compete?
I would want to encourage everyone to stay focused and do what they love best, and put God first in everything you do, and your dreams are yet to come.
All right. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Stephen Russell, gold and bronze medal in boxing at the Special Olympics and the World Games. Anthony Burrows, World Junior Team Tennis Competition Junior Davis Cup holder. And of course, Carlos Brown competing at the World Athletics Under 20 in Nairobi at just 15. So proud of you, gentlemen. Congratulations to you and all the best. When you become famous, remember that we started it all right here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wanda Rogers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ranga.
Hi, I'm Dr. Valencia Johnson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Munish Sharma.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jazreel Thompson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bonami.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rajesh Pahawa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Therese Nairn Knowles.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alpheus Alec,
Director of Ambulatory Services at Doctors Hospital.
I'm the consultant surgeon here at Doctors Hospital.
I'm a pediatrician here at Doctors Hospital.
I'm the director of imaging at Doctors Hospital.
An anesthesiologist here at Doctors Hospital.
Infectious diseases physician.
I'm radiologist at Doctors Hospital.
Emergency room physician here at Doctors Hospital.
And I'm clinical director of the Emergency Transport Services and Continuing Medical Education here at Doctors Hospital.
I am vaccinated against COVID-19.
I have been fully vaccinated for COVID-19.
I am fully vaccinated against COVID.
I am fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
And I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID.
I'm fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I hope you are too.
Are you? Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
I'm Philip Simon, TGIF to you. Great interview, the star with those other stars, right?
So you see me beaming from air. You know, my dimples have not left me, and I'm just always so proud of the talent in this nation, and just feeling so blessed that I get to be a host of a show like this one that brings it to the world. Great conversation so far this morning.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And we've got more to come. We've got Bahamian Shawn Knowles, who plays for the LA Angels. He's going to be here.
In addition to that, the High Commissioner of Canada to the Bahamas is here to share what she's going to be focusing on during her time in office. And so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, but hey, the G-Man, Godfrey Knowles, is going to give us our second look with weather at sunrise.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Phil, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather sunrise, the tropics this morning is quiet, and the tropical cyclone formation expected during the next 5 days. On local scene, the approaching cold front should move into Grand Bahama tomorrow morning, New Providence by the afternoon. Second front moves through quickly on Sunday, bringing some cooler temperatures. In the marine forecast today, those winds available at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet in northwest and central Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. On Saturday, those winds westerly at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. Those winds falling light and variable at times over the northwest and central Bahamas, continuing east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, winds northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet in northwest Bahamas, south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet in central Bahamas, and east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a low tide at 8:04 this morning. Next high tide will be at 2:21 this afternoon. Low gain tonight at 8:54. Sunset 5:21 this evening. Rising one 6:25. UV index 7. Your water temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase for this quarter. Extended look. Cold fronts move through. Expect variable cloudy tomorrow. Still warm with a few showers. Isolated thunderstorms by Sunday. We're looking at a mix of sun and clouds on the mild side. The chance of a shower is mainly in the central and southeastern islands. And then we're looking at partly sunny and cooler during the next several days as we go through Monday into Wednesday. Before that front, mid-80s to daytime, low 70s. After final passage, low 80s, mid-60s to low upper 60s at daytime. That's what you're up in your front. Look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Brother Godfrey Burnside. And I put Knowles on him this morning, and that's because we're going to be talking with another Knowles, a real Knowles, Shawn Knowles from the Los Angeles Angels, number 8 prospect, doing us proud in the major leagues. He's back on Bahamas to Sunrise. He reminded us a second ago that he was here before when he started his journey. Welcome back, my brother. So good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to have me. Good to be here.
It's excellent, man. I'm doing wonderful things. Are you having the time of your life?
Yes, sir.
Well, good. I mean, just revisit that story. You know, we were talking while Godfrey was given the weather, but talk a little bit about your journey. It's been a couple of years now. I mean, it's still relatively young, but it's been a couple of years that you've been in pursuit and landed, I guess, in the spot where you want to be.
Not necessarily the spot I want to be, but I'm heading there. But
you're headed there.
Yeah. So I signed my contract when I was 16. I went on the show, did an interview, and went over to play. And my first season, I did really well. And my second season, I had a little bit of injuries and a little bit of downfall. And then we had the COVID year. But this season, I picked it back up a little. Still had a little bit of injuries, but I still made a way out. So, but it was overall, the journey was good. This year, I coming back bigger, stronger, faster. You know, so
I
try to keep it.
You know, you sound like the $6 million man already. I don't know if you know that show, but that's from back in the 70s, bigger, stronger, faster. And I could see it. I mean, obviously you look like you're in tremendous shape, headed, on that track to, like you say, where you want to go. But, you didn't start at 16. Right? I would imagine that you've been, this has been a dream, to play professionally for a very long time. When did you get started in baseball?
You mean baseball in general or?
Yeah, in general. Yeah.
I think I started at like 3 or 4 around that time. But I took a year off because when I was so young, I didn't really understood the game. And all I wanted to do was play in the dirt. So my mom took me and my twin brother out for a year. And then we begged her to go back. And that's when the whole baseball journey started.
Yeah. It sounds like she did that little trick on you guys, take it away and make you love it even more. But this requires a lot of dedication. You talked about some of the setbacks when it comes to injuries, and I guess that makes it even harder sometimes. But what type of dedication and focus does it take to play at this level?
It takes a lot, to be honest. There'll be days you want to wake up and don't want to practice. You would be sore. We play 100 and so they cut the season kind of short this year, but we played 120 games, but it normally is 142. So like game 60, I was kind of blown. I still have the other half of the season to go. But the type of dedication you need is like, even though it's like 10 games in, you got to go in to the trainers, you got to roll out just so you could keep your body in shape to play in August, to play in the championships in November, September, those type of months, even though you all the way in July, June.
Yeah.
And you just gotta be consistent. You gotta eat healthy. You gotta drink healthy. You can't be drinking like soda and stuff like that. So but that's what I really struggle in, because I'm still young and I still like fast foods, like all the Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. So you just gotta be more consistent. You gotta be more disciplined. What you eat, how you work out, and small stuff like I couldn't really live a normal teenage life because small stuff I couldn't really do, or like other things I couldn't do with my friends. So like even if I jam my finger or like slice my hand, I couldn't play the same. So it was just certain things I had to do, or I had to play a part, you know what I mean? So there's certain things I had to do, like not really just be a normal teenager. I had to live that, like I had to be a professional. I had to think like a professional. I had to eat like a professional, So it's just little stuff like that.
That's tremendous sacrifice. Fellow Bahamian Kristen Monroe, is that correct, has joined you with the Angels. And of course you have Lucius Fox and Chavez Fernandez. They're also in the leagues. Do you communicate with them often besides your teammate? Is there camaraderie between you guys?
Yeah, we talk all the time. So some of them are pitchers, so we face them sometimes and we talk a little smack. But yeah, we encourage each other a lot. Chavez Fernandez is actually in the fall league in Arizona, so shout out to him. He doing his thing in the fall league. But yeah, we how we are like a small community from the Bahamas. We kind of like, we all kind of like grow together, get each other better. We text each other here and there, like, how is this going? How is this going? So I like it. We communicate a lot. We talk a lot, and we just help each other out.
Yeah. You mentioned just before that, some of the sacrifice you've had to make, along this journey. What do you say? What do you say to younger kids, right, who are looking at playing the sport and the possibilities of having a future career in baseball? What advice do you give?
The advice that I give, honestly, is to you know, obviously you have to have faith in God, but you actually have to work hard. Like, this ain't easy. You know what I mean? You ain't just playing against the people from the Bahamas. You playing against people from the Dominican. You playing against Americans all around the world. And some of those places, for them to eat, they have to do this. You know what I mean? Like me, like I could not play baseball and still, you know, not be like poor, because, you know, my mom has a job and stuff like that. But some of those guys, they can't even, like some of my teammates from Venezuela, they can't even go back home. How dangerous it is and stuff like that. So one thing I say is, y'all just take it serious and like just do the work. Like, it's a grind. Like, you really gotta push. You really gotta, because it's the best of the best. So like, you playing against everybody who has the same talent or even better and stuff like that. So you just gotta push. You gotta push.
All right. Good stuff, man. Listen, thank you so much for being back here on Bahamas with Sunrise. I didn't even ask what position you play.
So I play the outfield. I signed as an outfielder, but this year the Angels, they implemented the infield to me. So I played shortstop. I started at 8 games at shortstop, liked it. So I should be playing more infield. So I'm gonna play more infield next year for sure. But I started 8 games at shortstop. I'm gonna probably play shortstop and second base. But I play the 3 outfields and shortstop and second base.
Man, listen, you just play the game, man. Thank you so much for being back on the show. Looking forward to continue to watch the journey and see you make things happen, Shawn.
Thank you.
All right, great, good stuff. Shawn Knowles with the Los Angeles Angels. So good to have him back here on Bahamas with Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Since 1967, Freeport Oil Company Limited has been dedicated to fueling growth and prosperity in the Bahamas. We have been a constant pillar within the country, striving to invest and support our community through the best of times and the worst of times. For us, Full Call represents 21 years of strength and consistency, consistent leadership, consistent growth, consistent customer service. Through it all, we are resilient. Full Call, fueling growth for people.
Have you heard about Trinity Christian Schools?
We are a family school located on Trinity Way, Stapleton Gardens. We offer quality Christian education from preschool to grade 6. Here are the reasons why you should choose Trinity Christian Schools.
We offer quality Christian education.
We are a family school.
Our teachers provide individual support.
Our class sizes are small.
We offer a safe and happy environment.
Our teachers are caring and experienced.
Join the Trinity family.
We want you to be a part of the Trinity Christian Schools.
Come join us.
We want you to be a part of our family.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Now, as you might be very aware, Canada and the Bahamas enjoy a special relationship based on a long history of close commercial investment, cultural and economic ties. Of course, they are our brother and sister in the Commonwealth. And so we're very pleased to welcome Her Excellency Emina Tudakovic, who's the High Commissioner of Canada to the Bahamas, to our show today. Good morning, Your Excellency, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for the warm welcome.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. And I just want to get right into this because it's so important for us to understand diplomatic ties. And many times people don't. So it's great that we're bringing this to the population of the Bahamas this morning. I want to find out from you, what are your priorities in your new role as High Commissioner?
So I think all High Commissioners say this, that they want to deepen ties and be more strategic, but that's it in a nutshell. I'm very lucky in that Canada, as you mentioned, the Bahamas have a long-standing relationship, many years, since 1973. So what I'd really like to do, first of all, it's a bit of a learning curve for me, learn a bit more about the Bahamas. I've already had a great welcome. There's lots we can do on trade, lots of ties as well on education, Bahamian students coming to Canada, then often coming back to the Bahamas. Lots of discussions as well with around climate change and healthcare. So lots of room there. And I think just, looking forward to learning more during this trip and then kind of rolling up our sleeves and seeing where we can go from there.
Excellent, excellent. I love some of the things that you mentioned already. Climate change, of course, being a big one coming out of COP and with all the conversations going on around that. And of course, we are storm survivors, but also victims. And so it's great to hear you mention that. And I also love that you mentioned our students. I was talking to some friends who are from Prince Edward Island, and they were saying that the Bahamian is actually the largest non-Canadian population in PEI right now, which is absolutely fascinating. But when you think about our relationship, why do you think there is such a strong partnership between Canada and the Bahamas?
I mean, you mentioned our links to the Commonwealth and our shared history. So there's that link. And you mentioned the students in PEI, and PEI is our smallest province. Beautiful. That's where Anne of Green Gables comes from. I don't know if you've ever read those books. Of course, that's where Anne comes from. I was wondering, are the Bahamians secret fans of Anne of Green Gables? If not, it could be. But I think there is that there's a bit of, the common background, the language, it makes it a bit easier, for example, to study or to travel. Canadians have also been coming to the Bahamas as a tourist destination for years. So there's those ties. And I think the other thing I've noticed, and this is perhaps less kind of evident to others, is Canada and the Bahamas are often like-minded in multilateral fora. So we support some of the same human rights initiatives. The Bahamas is on the Human Rights Council the last couple of years. And so this is sort of a common worldview where we share on the multilateral stage as well. So I think that there's lots of scope. I've also met, even in my few short hours here last night, noticed how many people I met had some sort of connection to Canada, whether they'd studied there or they've had children that studied there. So that's kind of the overall gist of it.
Excellent, excellent. What has been Canada's international assistance in the COVID-19 crisis?
So Canada firmly believes that until we're all safe, no one is safe. So Canada's approach has been quite broad in terms of donating to the COVAX facility. That's the vaccine sharing group. In short, Canada's donated about $2.5 billion to COVID response worldwide. Specifically in the Bahamas, we've been working closely with the Pan American Health Organization. Last year in 2020, I think it was last September, we donated about 700,000 Canadian dollars worth of personal protective equipment and training to the Bahamas. And later on today, actually, we're going to be doing another handover of about 900,000 US dollars of equipment to hospitals to assist with the COVID response. So Canada's been a strong advocate as well for vaccines. Even before we had vaccines, Canada invested a lot of money to find a vaccine way out of this crisis. So it's been strong support, but we really, we're looking at this, I'd like to say short term, because I think we all hope the pandemic's over soon, but I think more realistically, medium term, Canada's continuing its commitment, including specifically to the Caribbean through the Pan American Health Organization.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And thank you for today's donation as well. I know that our hospitals continue to need it. And so we celebrate your response worldwide, and then of course to us directly. And we've been, joking about PEI and so many of the students that travel there to Canada for tertiary education. My husband went to both St. Mary's and Dalhousie in Nova Scotia. And so definitely, the links are there, but you also have strong partnerships with the University of the Bahamas. Can you tell us about that?
I don't have actually tons. We're looking forward to meeting them this week. But you mentioned education. There is a big education program. And I've been trying to figure out why so many Bahamian students go to the Maritimes. And then I realized, one, because the Maritimes are gorgeous. The East Coast is lovely. I'm from the West Coast, so I have a bit of a coastal bias. Okay. And I guess it's nice to be near the sea. But there are various scholarships, including sort of faculty scholarships. And I know there's been educators and students from the Bahamas that have taken advantage of some of those. There is a website called educanada.ca, and you can students can look them up, or even faculty. There's a Canada CARICOM Faculty Leadership Scholarship. It allows for a scholarship exchange. There's also something called Emerging Leaders in the Americas, which Bahamian students and faculty are eligible for. So I don't know. So specific to your question, I don't have tons to respond, not yet, but lots of ties, which we're hoping to grow in terms of that.
Excellent. Now, we talked a lot about, I guess, things that Canada does for the Bahamas. Is this a two-way relationship in terms of what we'll see coming from your time in office and what we give back to Canada as well?
So, I mean, is it a two-way relationship? Yes. Specifically on trade, it's still small, and that's not surprising. But, there's been a lot of, and I think everybody knows about Canadian banks in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas. We've had some interesting investments and projects, including LED roadway lighting in New Providence, investments in some of the hospitals here. So last year as well, when during the business, it's the BBO, I can't remember what the acronym stands for, we had 10 Canadian companies come to the Bahamas virtually at the time, who specialize in clean tech and green technology. And so this is something where we feel that Canada is really well positioned to play with the Bahamas in terms of both investment and opportunities, particularly as we look towards kind of a greener economy in future with climate change, right? So in order to meet those goals. So it's small but growing. And yesterday as well, when I met with the Prime Minister, we talked about trade in foodstuffs, because that's something that's been going up and down over the years. And so we'd like to see more Canadian products come to the Bahamas. And I'm sure we'd like to see more Bahamian products come to Canada as well.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I think we're well poised for that to happen. And so we look forward to the continued maturation of the relationship while you're in office. How can we stay engaged with you and keep up with you and what you're doing here in the region?
So we have a Twitter page for the High Commission. It's at Canada in Bahamas. And if people actually can spell my last name, they can Google me easily and find my Twitter handle, but it's just at Tudakovic. So I always joke, it's spelled exactly how it's pronounced, but only if you speak Croatian, which is my ethnic heritage. So it's not super easy. But certainly if folks go to the Canada and Bahamas webpage, I'm resident in Kingston in Jamaica. So if people look that up, that's one way to follow us. But I'm certainly looking forward to, I'm really glad to be here. I'm going to be here for about a week, and then hoping to return here a little bit more often. Fingers crossed that the flights and everything continue with the pandemic, with the COVID situation, but it's looking on the upswing. So.
Yeah, well, we're certainly happy to have had you, Your Excellency, and we wish you all the best as you continue to navigate through the region and certainly to work with us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
You do the same. You're watching
Thanks.
Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Doctors Hospital is pleased to announce our ambulatory surgical center located at Centerville Medical Center, number 68 Collins Avenue. This state-of-the-art facility offers outpatient same-day surgical services. Our team of skilled and attentive nurses, technicians, and administrative staff are ready to serve you and provide the highest quality care while offering competitive pricing in outpatient surgeries. Patient benefits include online pre-registration, pre-surgical screening, and anesthesia evaluation and clearance, all in a safe, COVID-free environment. We're open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you have questions, feel free to contact us by phone at 302-3260 or by email at surgerycenter@doctorshosp.com. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. Before we go, we do want to wish a very happy birthday to Annalise Thompson, who celebrates today. To you and all of you amazing November-born people, Phil. There's the people born this month are so awesome. We wish you a wonderful day.
Oh, man, I knew that was coming. You know what? I'm going to start it off by saying happy birthday next week, Tuesday, Star.
Thank you, Phil. I'm also taking birthday gifts. I'm just putting it out there. They can be dropped off at the counselors. So there's that. But no, we wish you a wonderful weekend and all going well. We will be back with more on Monday.
Yeah. See you soon.